Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. So today, we're going deep on this book you guys sent our way, The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. We're going to break down like the core, the nuts and bolts of his whole approach to building wealth.
Yeah.
And, it's not about like some, get-rich-quick scheme or anything like that. This book is really all about a pretty radical mindset shift.
Yeah.
One of the most surprising things I thought DeMarco does is he just completely like throws out the window this conventional wisdom about get rich slow.
Yeah.
That like work your whole life away and hopefully retire comfortably someday plan. But
Yeah.
I want to bring in our expert here because, a thing or two about breaking down these wealth building strategies. Can you kind of give us the rundown on how DeMarco turns that whole traditional approach to wealth completely on its head?
Well, DeMarco's main argument is that relying solely on traditional retirement plans, like 401ks and mutual funds, while it might seem like the safe route, it's actually kind of like gambling away your most valuable asset, which is time.
And like to really hit that point home, he uses that example of Joe, right?
Right.
Who spends like his entire life working and saving only to
Right. Well,
not make it to retirement.
exactly. He dies before.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's a stark illustration of that,
Yeah,
You don't have unlimited time.
exactly.
Like, time is finite.
It is. So
And that delaying gratification for decades is not always the best strategy.
yeah. Okay, so if get rich slow isn't the best bet,
Yeah.
then what does DeMarco offer as the alternative?
He proposes the fast lane, which focuses on creating and controlling income-generating assets. That can work for you regardless of how many hours you're putting in.
Okay, so it's more like
Yeah,
building a system that generates the wealth
exactly.
as opposed to
Yeah.
trading your time for dollars.
Yep.
Gotcha. And DeMarco's not shy about using like the Lamborghini as this kind of symbol of like
Yeah.
achieving wealth at a young age and actually getting to enjoy it. But it's important to point out that DeMarco's definition of wealth goes beyond just like flashing fancy cars or whatever. He's really critical of that idea of just looking rich by spending lavishly on things. He has this really great image that he can contrast it with that beat-up Escalade parked outside of a rundown apartment complex, right?
Right.
It's just this perfect picture of that illusion of wealth versus the reality.
Yeah.
So for DeMarco, it's about achieving that true financial freedom, that control over your time,
Yeah, absolutely.
living life on your own terms,
Yeah.
which, let's face it, a lot of us are looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So he doesn't stop at redefining wealth, though. He introduces this really interesting concept called the law of affection. Can you break that down for us?
So, the law of affection states that wealth is directly proportional to the number of lives you impact. So you can do this through scale, meaning reaching a large number of people, or magnitude, providing a solution with significant impact.
So it's really not about like selfishly hoarding money, but about creating value for others. And I love how DeMarco uses that example of those two construction worker brothers. One brother creates and markets this helpful invention, and the other one just keeps working construction. Well, you can probably guess who ends up wealthier in the end.
Yeah.
So it's all about taking action and impacting others.
Absolutely. That can create that path to financial success. But DeMarco doesn't just leave you with these abstract concepts. He provides a very concrete framework for action.
You're talking about the 5 Fastlane commandments.
Exactly. These are the guidelines that he uses to evaluate business opportunities, and he calls them N.E. Gessley: need, entry, control, scale, and time. And let's start with need. DeMarco is adamant that you should not start a business just to make money. You should be solving a genuine problem for other people.
So find a need and fill it.
Exactly.
Makes sense. What about entry?
So the commandment of entry is all about being aware of overcrowded, low barrier to entry businesses. So these are markets where it's really difficult to differentiate yourself and stand out.
Gotcha. So avoid those. Avoid the getting lost in the crowd. What about control?
So DeMarco warns against becoming what he calls a hitchhiker in someone else's business, like those multi-level marketing schemes, where you're ultimately building someone else's dream. He calls this the commandment of control. Own your path.
Yeah, be the driver, not the passenger.
Got it. Now, scale, I'm guessing this is about thinking big.
Absolutely. So the commandment of scale is all about targeting a large market to
Yeah.
maximize your impact and your potential for success.
Okay. Don't just think local. Think global.
Mm.
And then what about that last commandment? Time.
This is probably the most important commandment for achieving fast lane wealth. Design businesses that generate income passively, meaning your income isn't directly tied to the hours that you work.
To essentially work smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. DeMarco has certainly given us a lot to think about so far.
So those 5 commandments, they really lay out a practical way to, size up business ideas and to make sure you're on that fast lane track to building wealth. And it's not about those get rich quick schemes we see all over the place, you
Yeah.
know? It's about building real businesses that are impactful and sustainable and follow DeMarco's principles.
So we've got these commandments. What are some real-world examples of businesses that really fit this fast lane mold?
Well, one example DeMarco points to is subscription-based models.
Yeah.
Businesses that offer things like, data, information, software access. For a recurring fee, it's a really powerful way to create that passive income because you're not, trading time for dollars in a one-to-one way.
Yeah, it's like those online services we all use and can't live without now, right? You've got thousands of subscribers paying that monthly fee, creates a nice stable revenue stream.
Exactly. Another good example is e-commerce, which has really, exploded in recent years. And it's not just limited to physical products. DeMarco himself leverages e-commerce to sell his books digitally, reaching a global audience without the need for a physical store.
I mean, that's what I love about these online business models. It's like you're opening up shop to the whole world.
Yeah.
You're not limited by geography anymore. And then, there's also good old-fashioned innovation.
Yeah.
That classic path to fast lane wealth,
Yeah.
inventing a product, a service, or even like valuable information.
It's what DeMarco calls the two-pronged approach: manufacture and distribution. You might have the most brilliant idea in the world, but if you can't get it in front of the people who need it, that fast lane wealth is not going to materialize.
Right, so that's where DeMarco's emphasis on marketing and execution really comes into play, right?
Exactly.
Ideas are great, but execution is king. And DeMarco actually encourages entrepreneurs to ditch those like long, drawn-out business plans and just get their ideas out there, test, iterate, respond to feedback. It's much more dynamic.
It's about adopting a ready, fire, aim approach, rather than getting stuck overthinking and overanalyzing.
Right.
And speaking of feedback, DeMarco highlights customer service as a major way to stand out in a crowded marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, good customer service is like such a rarity these days. Going above and beyond for your customers can really build a loyal following and set you apart. DeMarco even encourages business owners to look at customer complaints as valuable insights, areas for improvement.
Yeah, he talks about turning those "this sucks" moments into opportunities to make something better.
Yeah.
Along with customer service, DeMarco emphasizes the importance of branding.
Right. You need that strong, memorable brand that clearly communicates the value you offer, makes you distinct from all the competition.
Yeah, he compares price to the paint job of a product or service, highlighting how pricing can influence that perceived value and attract the right customer base. It's not about being the cheapest, it's about strategic positioning.
Right. It's about showcasing that unique value that you bring to the table. But DeMarco also warns against falling into the trap of what he calls the Teckle syndrome.
Right. Teckle syndrome is all about chasing shiny objects, jumping from one opportunity to the next, without really giving any single idea the attention it needs.
Right.
That scattered approach really dilutes your focus and prevents you from gaining the momentum necessary for fast lane success. You need to commit to one business idea and give it your all.
He compares building a successful business to a marriage.
Yeah.
It takes dedication and perseverance and a willingness to ride out those inevitable storms.
It's about playing the long game, focusing on sustainable growth instead of seeking instant gratification. Now, I know starting a business can feel overwhelming, but DeMarco points out that taking intelligent risks is essential for escaping the slow lane and achieving that fast lane success.
So he makes a distinction between what he calls moronic risk, like gambling away your savings, versus intelligent risk, which involves careful planning, calculated decision-making, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's about embracing that entrepreneurial spirit and understanding that failure is often a necessary step on the path to success. And remember, the fast lane isn't just about achieving financial freedom, it's about designing a life you love.
Yeah, creating a life that aligns with your values and your aspirations.
DeMarco encourages you to define your dream lifestyle, whether that's traveling the world, pursuing creative passions, or just spending more quality time with loved ones. And then work backward and create a business that supports that vision.
It's about taking control of your destiny. And this is where DeMarco gets really interesting. He actually challenges that traditional advice to live below your means.
Right.
Instead, he encourages fastlaners to focus on expanding their means, cultivating that mindset of abundance, not scarcity. It's a real perspective shift. and a belief in your ability to create the life you want.
Yeah.
He also cautions against the dangers of financial illiteracy,
Yeah.
emphasizing the importance of understanding key financial concepts, not blindly following the advice of so-called experts.
It's about empowering yourself with knowledge, becoming a savvy manager of your own financial future. So for anyone ready to hit the fast lane, DeMarco offers one major piece of advice. Ditch the distractions and focus on execution.
So become a relentless action taker. Prioritize your goals
Yeah.
and avoid that trap of procrastination. Tomorrow never comes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
The time to act is now.
DeMarco reminds us that the path to wealth is paved with consistent effort, unwavering determination, and a willingness to adapt and learn along the way.
Yeah, it's not about shortcuts. It's about embracing the journey and understanding that success is a marathon, not a sprint. And, DeMarco's own personal journey is really inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
He openly talks about, the setbacks and the challenges that he faced as an entrepreneur, but he never gave up on that dream of financial freedom.
Yeah, he emphasizes that importance of resilience, you
Wow.
know, and self-belief, and really just relentlessly pursuing those goals, even when you're facing those obstacles and those naysayers.
Right.
He reminds us that success is rarely linear. It's more like a winding road, with those unexpected twists and turns.
It's a good reminder that failure is just part of the process,
Yeah.
and those who succeed are the ones who just keep going. And this is another thing that DeMarco makes really clear. There's no one-size-fits-all path to wealth.
Exactly.
Right.
He really stresses the importance of finding your own unique path, one that aligns with your skills and your passions and your values. It's not about blindly following someone else's blueprint. It's about forging your own entrepreneurial destiny.
So find what you're good at, what you're passionate about, and find a way to make it work for you. And DeMarco doesn't just talk about the individual journey, he also highlights the importance of building the right network.
Yeah, he encourages you to surround yourself with the right people. Mentors, partners, advisors, people who share your vision and can support your journey. Find those people who've already achieved the success you're aiming for and learn from them.
Yeah, so it's like building a team of experts to help you navigate the fast lane.
Exactly.
And he really emphasizes that the fast lane isn't like a solitary pursuit. It's a collaborative journey. You're learning from others, you're sharing your experiences. You're creating this community of like-minded people who push you to reach your full potential.
He encourages engaging with that fast lane community, connecting with other entrepreneurs, tapping into that shared knowledge and support to really accelerate your progress.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that you're not alone on this journey. There are others who have walked a similar path, and they're eager to share their wisdom.
That sense of community is so important,
Mhm.
especially when you're, kind of striking out on your own and trying to build something new. And here's a point that DeMarco really drives home. The fast lane isn't just about achieving material wealth. It's about building a legacy.
Yeah, he encourages aspiring fastlaners to think about how their businesses can contribute to a greater good, whether it's through creating jobs, supporting charities, or just, making the world a better place. It's about using your success as a platform to create that positive change.
So it's really thinking beyond just your own personal gain, considering that broader societal impact of your actions, aligning your business goals with your values, and creating a legacy that you can be proud of. And that brings us to another really important aspect of that fast lane philosophy, continuous self-improvement.
Right. DeMarco emphasizes that journey to wealth, it's also a journey of personal growth. You need to be constantly learning, evolving, and expanding your skill set.
So adopt that growth mindset,
Yeah.
be open to new ideas, and never stop seeking knowledge and working on yourself.
He provides a really powerful framework for personal development, outlining those strategies for cultivating a positive mindset, overcoming self-limiting beliefs, and developing the habits and discipline that you need to achieve those goals.
Yeah, it's all about taking ownership of your life, setting clear intentions, and taking action to turn those dreams into reality.
DeMarco reminds us that anyone who's willing to put in the effort can achieve success in the fast lane, no matter their background, their education, or their financial starting point.
I love that.
Yeah, it's not about privilege or luck. It's about hard work and determination and that burning desire to create a better life.
It's a really empowering message. He's saying that we all have the potential to achieve great things if we embrace those fast lane principles and commit to that journey. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Millionaire Fastlane, what are some key takeaways our listener can apply to their own wealth building journey?
Well, first and foremost, I would say challenge that conventional get rich slow wisdom. Embrace the idea that you can create real wealth in a shorter time frame through the fast lane. It's about shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance, creating value for others, and building those businesses that give you control over your time and your life.
And remember those 5 commandments: need, entry, control, scale, and time. Use them to evaluate those business opportunities. Make sure your business solves a real problem, allows you to stay in control, has the potential to scale, and ultimately can generate that passive income.
Yeah, and never underestimate the power of execution. Ideas are meaningless without action, so get out there and test your ideas and be relentless in pursuing your goals. Embrace that growth mindset, always be learning, and surround yourself with a network of mentors and advisors who can support you.
And, most importantly, remember that the fast lane isn't a destination, it's a journey. A journey of self-discovery, personal growth, and entrepreneurial adventure. Buckle up, embrace the challenge, and enjoy the ride. You have the power to create the life of your dreams. The fast lane is waiting for you.
And there you have it, our deep dive into MJ DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane. We hope you found this exploration insightful and empowering. Remember, the path to wealth is paved with action and determination, and a willingness to break free from conventional thinking.
We encourage you to keep exploring DeMarco's ideas, connect with that fast lane community, and start taking those steps towards creating the life you truly desire. Until next time, keep diving deep.